Hey there Warhammer fans, welcome back to the Rogue Painter channel. I am JD, aka the Rogue Painter, and we are here for another episode of Mortal Realms Monday. So for today we're reviewing issue 5, and with this issue we get one miniature, Alexandria Azure Bolt, and very nice sculpted model. Comes in a multitude of pieces just for the one model on this, so lots of gluing. Gluing is required for this piece. This isn't a snap together piece. There are some fiddly pieces, so be careful when clipping and removing from the sprue not to snap things like the chain and the certain small bits. Obviously you've got a small thunderbolt here attached. She just comes with a regular base this time, no special base for her, but I'm sure we can figure out something to do with that when it comes to painting. So we'll set that aside. About this, she is a limited character. She does only come with the Mortal Realms magazine. You cannot buy her from Games Workshop site or stores anywhere unless you're buying this magazine, or if somebody is selling the miniatures on eBay, which I'm sure they will. Price wise, when it comes to pricing up the issue, we're going to price her at £15 RRP, which is generally what these kind of character models go for. So when it comes to pricing up, we've got £15 for her and $7.99 for the issue. So at the end I'll put the price up on the screen and you can see what you're saving with it. So onto the magazine. First of all, we get a nice large fold out piece to put into our folders when we get them with the later delivery. And in here, this one is about Azirheim, or Azirheim. Azir, the domain of Sigmar. So fold it out. Got some nice bit of artwork there, some snippets about a bit of background story. This one is about the planet in the middle here, which is Malus, the broken remains of the world that was, sits at the centre of the Sigmarabulum. So Sigmarabulum. Sigmar was clinging to this fractured world when he was carried into the Dark Realms by the great star drake Drakathon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which was when the fall of the original Warhammer fantasy game happened during the end times. So Sigmar clung onto this and was carried through to Azir, after which he then built this huge city and made it his home. There's some nice artwork on the reverse side here, showing the gates. I'm assuming this is the gates to a palace of some sort within the city. I'm assuming where Sigmar would sit. But yeah, so that's the pull-out section, much like the one for Nazash, I think it was called. Alright, so onto the magazine itself. So we got this section, the Mortal Realms, which is about the realms itself. Obviously, when you put them into your folders again, you've got the different sections that we put them into. So this is sort of the background stuff. Then we got a bit on this I think focuses on magic usage more in this issue. So we've got the different types of magic here that is within the realms, and a bit on the Stormcast Eternals, the Knights Incantor, which are basically magical knights. They're warrior wizards. Then we've got obviously quite a bit on Alexandria herself. So some of her equipment. This is the miniature here once she is assembled. And then we've got some more realms, War of the Dead, or Wars of the Dead. So a bit more fighting and battle history there. Then we've got the how to build section for her. So obviously it does mention being very careful with clipping pieces out because they are very fragile with this particular model. That's the how-to guide for putting her together. The usual how to paint, and again this just goes on for laying the gold. If you're painting along with the magazine, then obviously this is the only stage you'll be able to do. But if you're following my guides, which I really do hope you are, then we will be having something a little bit different for Exandria this week, as we're going to be focusing, as she's a special character, we're going to be focusing on more finer details, making the special characters really stand out, with a lot more technical painting. So I was going to say lessons, but it's not really lessons. The how I do it, or the tutorials, are going to be split into 2 or 3 pieces as we focus on the different sections of her and really go through it. You're going to be looking at a couple of hours to paint this miniature up, but will be well worth it in the end. So I hope you do check those videos out. I'll put something up in the card up in the corner here so you can take a look at that and hopefully paint along. So anyway, next we've got the Knight Incantor Leads the Way. So this is the playthrough, so how to use Exandria Azure Bolt, and I'm assuming it says about other heroes and how they will move their phases and stuff. So we've got the Chain Rasps is who she's fighting. This does use the larger map from previous issue, well, half of the larger map from the previous issue. So we've got the hero phase, the movement phase, combat phase, and then the Chain Rasps, and then back to Exandria, so the hero phase, movement and combat. And then at the back here, just a little bit of advertisement for the Mortal Realms website. And obviously we've got her her war scroll here, and on the reverse just the next 2 issues. So next issue I'm looking forward to, which I do actually have. That's the Thorns of the Briar Queen, and then issue 7 is what I'm then waiting for, which will be issues 7 to 10 in my next box. But yeah, as far as these are going, I know I did say that we may be missing one this week, but these 2 issues, 6 and 7, did actually come up, get delivered earlier than expected. So this week and next week we've got Mortal Realms, and then it just depends on whether or not I get issues 7 to 10. Assuming I do, there'll be no gap. If I don't, then there'll be a gap of 1 to 2 weeks. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously it just depends on when my subscription gets delivered. But fingers crossed, all goes well and we can keep these videos coming up weekly. So until next time guys, thanks for watching. Remember, if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications for future videos. Check out the painting tutorials that I do, especially for this one. It's going to be a good one. I do have Twitch where I paint, live stream painting. You can check that out. Twitter and Instagram if you'd like to go and follow me on those. Links for those are all down in the description. And I also run a Patreon if you'd like to show a bit more support than just a like or subscribe. It's entirely up to you, no pressure at all. You can go there for a subscribe. I've only got the 1 tier at the minute, just as I'm building it up, and then as I get that more established, I'll open up a couple of more higher tiers, which will give more in-depth videos and, you know, better rewards for subscribing to those tiers. So until next time guys, take it easy, and I will see you soon.